Action News starts now.
And then breaking news at 10, a well-known boulevard will once again be called the Paseo.
Voters decided to reverse the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. name change with nearly 70% of the vote. 41 Action News reporter Andres Gutierrez joins us live on this issue. Andres.
Krista, here it is an overwhelming victory for these folks. The members of the Save the Paseo group tells me that this shows the importance of the democratic process and how they should have been part of this conversation in that first place. Tonight, the Paseo is back, and an overwhelming majority of voters in Kansas City, Missouri chose to reverse the name of one of the city's most recognizable streets.
So we can be proud of our city, because today I am so proud of our city. We should all be proud of our city for speaking up.
The effort's led by Save the Paseo, a group of citizens who collected enough signatures to bring the controversial issue to a ballot after the city council decided to change it to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in late January.
This is a strictly Kansas City issue that has to do with procedures and the historical value of our street, the Paseo.
Former council member Alicia Candidate was among the first to bring up concerns.
The city council knew this petition was coming, and the signs did not have to go up. That was a political play as well to try to move the needle forward, so that the rhetoric was, well, we don't want to be the first city to take them down. Well, we shouldn't have been the ones to put them up, because the will of the voters was not there to support the decision.
Save the Paseo and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which led the effort to get the name change in honor of Dr. King, have met multiple times to discuss their differences.
It's a dicey situation, because how do you tell SCLC no, these historical black institutions that have provided leadership and guidance to the black community, no to honor Dr. King? Well, property owners have rights, and they did not agree with it because, number one, they weren't consulted.
Following this night of celebration, the conversation will continue.
We need to go back to the table and find a better honor for Dr. King, and that includes us in that conversation and the SCLC, the city council. We need to make this right.
And now we did reach out to the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. We have not heard back for comment following these results. And we also did reach out to the Department of Public Works, who tells us the next steps are that the votes would have to be officially certified by all the election boards before they can proceed with any changes. And this would take a few weeks. And then after that, it would depend on crews and the weather on changing those signs back to the Paseo. Reporting live in Kansas City tonight, Andres Gutierrez, 41 Action News.
All right, thank you, Andres. Now, the city spent about $60,000 to change the Paseo signs to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. That includes equipment, materials, like the LED screen signs, the staff time to change the signs. Today, a spokesperson for the Public Works Department says they are anticipating it will cost less to change it all back, because the Paseo signs can be reused and recycled from the old Paseo signs depending on their condition.
This, by the way, ends a nearly 2-year debate. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, ignited the push as a way to honor the civil rights leader. In January, the city decided it would rename the Paseo Boulevard to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But in April, a group of petitioners gathered enough signatures to put the name change on the ballot for voters to decide. When this was initially proposed in 2018, there was support for renaming 63rd Street to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Many said since 63rd Street had a history of segregation and it crosses into every racial and economic area of the city.
Mayor Quinton Lucas says tonight's vote is a reminder to City Hall that the way they do things matters. In a statement tonight, he says, quote, "We must continue to legislate by bringing people together, seeking input from people with different perspectives, and working to consensus build on the issues that matter most to our community."